everybody has they all have that paid app, like what Moninder said, which is Health Fit, which actually integrates to FinalSurge. So every time you do a workout, whether it's a run or strength, for strength we used functional strength training mode. You have to switch it on your Apple Watch as a workout. The moment you end, it automatically goes to Health Fit. Now Health Fit to FinalSurge, you can, there are two ways to export. One, it could be manual, one could be automatic. Now I always choose the manual option because I just want my coach to see whatever is on prescribed on FinalSurge. Just because I went for a walk, I don't want those workouts for my coach to see. That's the reason I chose the manual option. But if you feel that you may forget and it's stressful, you can automatically go for that whatever automatic upload. So every time you do a workout, HealthFit will automatically send it to FinalSurge.
So
So
in the
that was,
one quick
yeah.
question over there, in Garmin, there is an option where you can select whether you want to sync all the runs only, biking and walk. So you can select your workout, which workout should to be synced. Is there any feature like
No,
that in Apple
no,
Watch?
no,
No.
no.
Okay.
Either it is all or it is manual.
All or none. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So that is about FinalSurge. Now the second main thing is Apple Watch, Apple workout runs. So the way Apple Watch is, so obviously I understand, even in my group they were like, you can see mile wise in whatever, in Strava also you can actually see mile wise. But unfortunately, HealthFit does not capture the heart rate and other details mile wise. And your coach always wants to see what your pace and your heart rate is per mile. He doesn't want to see the average or at the end of the workout. And that's the reason you have to double tap your watch after every mile. So Apple Watch, what it does is it actually vibrates. The moment you finish mile one, it vibrates. So you kind of give it like a 1 or 2 seconds till it finishes its vibration, and then you double tap it. So then it captures the details for that mile or that segment or split, whatever you may want to call it.
In the one more question there. So can you change the uh, what do you call instead of mile? Can you make your milestone as a 0.5 miles, or is there a way to?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you have to be mindful of it. You can't do, and nothing is automatic. So if you want
Okay.
to do it 0.5 miles, for example, half marathoners, we have to do all these sprints and
Yeah.
strides and stuff like that. So you have to pay attention to your watch, and then you have to double tap it. The watch is not going to tell you anything.
No. Like the vibration by default comes after a mile, right?
Always, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't come in between.
So you cannot reset, or you cannot program that to go for a shorter duration, let's say 0.2 miles or something. You cannot set the smaller.
No, not that I know of, Moninder. I can check if anything has changed.
Okay, because the thing is, I think that's what we I was doing the same thing on Garmin, but then I saw a note from Suren in the, I think, last to last season. So then if you go into the details, there is lots of things where you can do. So now all the runs which earlier I used to be like running and like pressing the lap button on my watch. But now I'm like, okay, I just like put a program there, like for 3 or 4 lines, and everything is like, it'll instruct you. You can even program to the level where you want to have your consistent heart rate, so that if I'm between 145 to 155, if it goes beyond that, it'll ask you to slow down also. So all those things. So I was just thinking if somebody has done any research on that on Apple Watch.
No, those things definitely are not there in Apple Watch for sure.
Okay.
Just that
Okay.
vibration thing, I will double check, because but the others, whatever you said Garmin has, unfortunately Apple Watch doesn't have it.
Okay. So if you can check that, can we set the lap size? Can we customize the lap size? I think right now it's 1 mile. So can that be customized? So I think that's what we want. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay, go ahead.
Who I any questions? I'll be very happy to
Indu,
answer.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So for the splits, right? Like if I'm doing strides or say fartlek, right? This is for the advanced runners. So like say 1 minute, if I'm doing fartlek, 1 minute run, 1 minute CP. So after every 1 minute, do I double tap on the screen to capture the split?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
And
that's what.
that too, that minute, what I you obviously you have to keep looking at your watch, or you can say what I do is I set a timer. So it is we can't, there is no setting on the watch which will tell you that it's 1 minute or whatever.
Oh,
So you have to manually kind of pay attention to the watch.
okay.
Okay. So I think Coach GV Ganesh is also joined. So GV is also one of the most, I would say, in amongst us, he's the most experienced runner. So GV, you want to add any colors to this iWatch if you have any insight into that?
Oh, hi, Mo. Thanks.
Hi.
Thank you. I was just curious to learn some tricks,
Okay.
struggle a bit. But I think one thing which I didn't know, I think Indu mentioned, right, is this whole mile thing where it actually buzzes.
Yeah.
I mean, I had set it in a mode where it didn't do that, right? I mean, then that really helped me because I used to miss to 1.2 or 2.4 or whatever, right? So, and that's becomes a harder part for the coaches to kind of learn that, right? I mean, a kind of to track your performance, if you may. So I think that is one thing that that helps me. Other thing is, again, if you have a consistent route, right? I mean, that is one thing that again helps if you're an Apple Watch, right? You kind of know the destinations where you're going to hit the miles as you go to
Yeah.
it, especially the 5 mile runs and things like that, right? The long runs you might go away to a farther trail to run, but then that is another way of trying to keep it consistent so that you don't miss out on that, right? I think that's pretty much what I do. And the other thing, I think on these fartleks and these kind of runs, sometimes it's okay to run with a feel, I think, right? Because most of these gives you a range, right? Of it doesn't have to be exactly 60 seconds at the end of which you have to stop or change from one mode to another, right? So it's usually a 60 to 90-second range. And it's okay because we certainly don't want you all to stress out to be exactly accurate at that moment, whether it's zero point 0.2 miles or 60 seconds. Right? And I think, and some of those runs, especially the pyramid runs and things where it is distance based, right, not time based.
Yeah.
What has helped for me is those specific runs I try to do on tracks, in school track or something like that, because you kind of know, right?
You know that,
Because one lap is 0.25 miles, so you kind of get a feel for where you are around 0.2 or things like that, right? So that is one thing that has helped me, right? These are some few things. Being an Apple Watch user, I try to manage with that. Yeah.
Okay. And
So
any go
Moninder,
ahead.
as GV was talking, I was just checking nothing has changed. So
Okay.
unfortunately, we can't do any other distance other than the default 1 mile, which happens.
Okay. So that buzzer can be set up by default. It's off or on, like the every mile the buzzer which comes or the vibration.
It is default only for everybody,
Okay.
because even in my cohort, I remember they said, yeah, it's just that you need to pay attention to it. So initial can be a challenge, but then you get used to it.
Okay, got it. Okay. So that is good. So the other question, most of the time people struggle with is that, oh, I did the run, but I'm seeing it in that health fit, but it's not syncing up to the FinalSurge. So I asked them to go and pick the run and do manual
Yeah.
kind of syncing. But is there a method to the madness, like why this happens and how to eliminate that problem? Because there's a lot of sometimes, and everything is working fine. Suddenly one fine day, one runner will start complaining this is not working, and
No,
then
but you have to understand that health fit to FinalSurge takes up to 15 minutes. Weekends, it takes up to 30 minutes. I've seen that as a pattern. So anytime anybody says that, and I know they are in that automatic option, I tell them to relax. Like it will show up, and it shows up eventually.
okay.
And if at all something happens like what you said, you just for that run just do a manual upload. That's fine.
Okay.
But other than that, I have not seen it failing.
Okay, got it.
I have a question. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Dinesh.
Yeah. So one question is like my coach always complained that my heart rate is not showing up So like everything else is there, but heart rate is not there.
Yeah.
Any,
So you are an Apple Watch user, right?
that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you have to do is go to your Apple Health
Yes.
and you have to enable that for Health Fit. So Health Fit does not read all the data. So you that settings, go to Apple Health and you kind of check mark whatever you want Health Fit to take from your Apple Health. Like for example, right, in my thing, I have disabled lot of things which is not needed, like steps. Why Health Fit does not need to capture the total steps I'm doing in a day. Certain things. So when you go to Apple Health, you can see those details.
Okay. So that needs to be enabled. So that's a good learning actually. I didn't knew that
And
by
I have
default.
a small video which I will post after we are done with this call.
Okay, great. Okay, that's good to know. Any other question from anybody?
I think thing like Indo, like if you could share some screenshot, like what the final report should look like.
Yeah, one
On,
second. I'm looking at it. If you give me a minute,
sure.
I will.
So let me see if I have any Apple report also.
No, I need to go to the video only. One second.
Or there's a simpler solution. Move to Garmin for your runs.
Yeah.
I had the Galaxy, the Samsung smartwatch in first season.
Okay.
And then I moved to Garmin the immediate second season because it says, and it's even less used, so there are no way to even troubleshoot those Samsung Galaxy Watch issues.
Okay, if you runners high, I just posted that video.
Okay.
So if you can just take a look, it was a small video actually which my daughter had done last year just for my sake. So that is just take a look at it, and I think that should help.
Okay. So the other thing is like the typical matrix, the way it should look is something like this. Sorry. I'm struggling with my calendar. Give me 1 second. Okay. Any other questions by the time I'm pulling that data? Anybody or any other features which one should know Indu or GV for Apple Watch, which I think you guys have figured out over a period of time, some cheat sheets, some like tricks. Or no?
I mean, Apple Health enable then whatever you need, and then Health Fit to FinalSurge do I would prefer manual upload. Now, another advantage of manual upload, I personally feel, is before when you're uploading, you also take a look at your metrics. And I was telling my group also, just spend a minute after your run looking at your own metrics, and then you upload it to FinalSurge. So
yeah, actually, I agree with that Indu's point, right? It just kind of forces you to spend 30 seconds looking at it.
yeah, and then
And
I'm
also,
like, why not, right? You know how you've
and
done,
also,
so.
Yeah, and also if you are connecting your Health Fit to Strava as well, you even have a chance to just put a comment or whatever, right, about your run, which goes to
Exactly.
Strava, and that comment is stored that you want to share with your friends, right? So even I don't do an automatic. I just keep it manual, and I take 30 seconds to do that, and it syncs with both my FinalSurge and Strava.
Correct.
So that's the one which I think that feature is missing in Garmin. I tried once to not automatically sync, and then I had to download the file, upload the file. So Suren, if you know better, let me know. But as far as I know, I think it's either automatic or there is none. You can't like be selective that I will upload one run manually and others.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Okay. And Shankar, hi Shankar, welcome. Shankar is another senior runner, so Shankar, you are also Garmin, right? So I don't think I wanted to see if anybody who has some insight into Apple Watch and all, but that's fine. I think this is good for all of us to know what all things we can do with the Apple Watch and how to move the runs. Okay, so you can do manual in Garmin. Okay, so I'll maybe right when you're able to speak, we'll have you send those instructions, because I tried once and I had to I couldn't really do that. After the run, like Indu mentioned, I wanted to see if I can put some comments and all. So I stopped by default. Like by the time you're catching your breath, it'll automatically so your run is ready. It's already gone to FinalSurge and also to Strava. So, but since so
But
we'll check.
talking about Strava, and to add to what GV Ganesh said,
Mhm.
I always, even the last long run in my notes, which only I can see, I kind of wrote, the nutrition, what I followed for that long run. So, all these features are there for us to go back and look. Maybe a year down the road, you want to do it. Just search and then you find all those things. Especially Strava is a very good social platform.
Strava. No, in FinalSurge, you can go and upload the notes and write what you have done.
But I don't know
And
how the search feature is in FinalSurge.
FinalSurge is very basic. I
Yeah,
think.
it is not that user
Strava.
friendly. But Strava, for example, I needed to see what my last time's mile, whatever best mile pace or whatever was. I just did a search and it came up and I exactly know. So it's very useful.
Okay. Yeah, Strava is good, but I think again we just keep the Strava for socialization, not to sync Strava to FinalSurge or vice versa. So I think that's just
No,
for
for notes, right? Somewhere you
notes
can
and all.
write your notes is what I meant. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now the other thing, I think the other question was how to.
So cool. Moninder, if you have anything, I just need to log off.
Sure.
So if you have anything, anybody, please feel free to ping me. I will be very, very happy to help.
Thank you, Indu. Thank you for your time and
Thank you, Indu.
all the inputs
No
which you
problem.
gave. So
Anytime.
anyway, I'm recording this session. I'll share the recording also after this. So okay, thanks, Indu. You can drop off.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Good night, everybody.
Right. Okay, so I think the other thing which is the thing is how to move the run. So I think that as a standard practice, I think one of the best practices. I suggest everybody, even when somebody asks you what is the best practice, so please try to put something in the notes in the FinalSurge. Let's say I'm assigned let's go to, let me share my screen and see if I can pull up a run. Chat, share my screen. Okay, share and FinalSurge. Okay, so this is the run, right? So this was a speed test. So I ran it on Sunday, then I moved it to back. So because I was able to move it, so I don't have to write it. But if let's say you're not able to move it, go to the notes section. You can go on your iPhones or Android phones, and there you can put in the notes in the FinalSurge that ran on Sunday instead of Saturday. Because what happens is, if you're not running the same day, then the way it shows in the FinalSurge is that one is the assigned run and other is the completed. So you don't see the full metrics, and the coach, every coach will get confused, because we have about 40 people, like all of us, like anywhere from 35 to 40. So if you're not putting that information, then somebody will ignore that, why he or she is running, because it's not his running day. So that's why it's very important to put it in the notes if you're not able to move the run. Okay. So now how to move the run is on the phone. I have tried, and I don't know if I can. This is Zoom window. So in the FinalSurge, if you go, so there will be 3 dots. I think I shared that procedure also, the process how to do that in my in one of the messages. So let us see. Here we go. There are 4 or 5 steps to the here it is. Go click on the 3 dots in the upper hand right corner. It will show the move option. Go to that run. Let's say you ran it on Sunday instead of Saturday. Go to that run and click on the 3 dots on the upper right hand. That will show the click on the move, and then it will ask for which date you want to move it. So on the calendar, move it back by 1 day, And then what will happen is, let's say it is today is what, 18th. So you were supposed to run on 17th. So select the date of 17th and then go to the 17th when the run was assigned to you. Click on the run where you were supposed to run, which will show red by then. Click on that and there will be a merge option. So it will ask you to merge it with the which run. So that run will show up. So I think that is how you should do that. And I can put together a small video of that. Or Suren, if there is anything ready-made, we can share that also. But I think I can put together a quick video for that, how to merge the runs and all.
Yeah,
So
there's nothing ready-made. It's very simple in what.
very simple, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the only part is that you have to just play like it's like any other
Yep.
app. So,
Yeah. And the other thing is the merge will not work. Let's say on that day, on the day, let's Saturday, you are supposed to run, and you instead of 5 miles, you run just 0.1 mile. And what happens is it will try to merge that activity. And it's when you go to that your assigned run, it already assumed that you did a run, but that was very minimal. So it won't allow you to merge it with the other one. So all you need to do is there is an option to delete that small run. Let's say 0.1 mile if it is already you just walked and accidentally your watch got pressed or that lap button got pressed. So it will save that and then you will not be able to merge it. So you need to remove that like unnecessary run. After that, the merge option will open. Then you can merge the moved run to that. Okay. So hope that basically answers the question which I think Avanti was asking, right? Or Surbi, somebody asked that question, right? How to merge the runs. So that is the way to do it. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Anything else, Suren, you want to add?
no, if you still have, if somebody's facing merge issues, right, you can always ping me on the side. I know Coach Mo is usually like occupied, right, more, and he has a lot of other train runners to run. So I can help you like walking through if you still have questions. Because
Yeah,
merge is something that I usually do all the time, right? Saturday runs. Yeah.
Same here. I
So,
run on Sunday and bring it back to Saturday. So I think that's a very useful feature. Move and merge. I think that's oh, Gagan Singh has joined. So he's our like Apple expert. So perfect
Hello, sir.
timing. Hi Gagan, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
Good. No, we were about to wrap up. So good that you joined. So so we were just like Indu shared some knowledge on Apple do's and don'ts. So how does this? I also learned today that first time that after every mile the Apple Watch do a vibration. So then you can start double tap so that it creates a split. So have you figured out any other things? I think since we last spoke on the last season.
Yeah, I think this is the key thing for splits. If we forget that double tap, the stats get completely messed up. So, of course, the watch will vibrate. The interesting part is that it will give you a notification that you've completed 1 mile or another mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, whatever, right? And you have to wait for it to get back to the main activity screen before you double tap. If you double tap on that screen itself, it is not going to register the double tap at all.
Okay.
So I always tell people that when you double tap, look for the feedback where it will tell you that the segment has been recorded. Okay. And if you are listening something while you're running, then you will get the verbal notification also in your earphone, in your AirPod, some sort of a thing that says that the segment recorded, sort of a feedback, right? So that is one important thing. And I know many people, many of the runners were facing issues on the sync up also, on the sync up of the run from your Apple Fitness to FinalSurge. Is that already covered? Are there any questions on that?
So I think we covered that sometimes some runners complained if one particular day, Coach Indu was here, so she said that wait for 15 to 30 minutes sometimes, because sometimes there is a lag for syncing up. But if still the run doesn't sync up, you can go to that run and manually sync it up.
Yeah, right. That's what I always do. Most of the time I end up doing manually. Many times it happens that when you do manually, it shows twice. It shows 2 entries in FinalSurge, then you have to go and just delete 1 entry so that the coach only sees only 1 entry.
So that is one thing which I want to basically also reiterate, that please try not to, because I have seen like 6 or 7 runs from one runner and that becomes really messy, because one run will be valid where you can see all the metrics, all others will be no data sometime or something else, because I think it's multiple, sometimes the network issue. So if you can do that cleanup once you know which run is there, because that will save us some time, because as I mentioned earlier, there are about 35 to 40 folks with each coach, and all of us have full-time jobs. And on top of it, like this is like just to review, just to look at a simple run, and on top of it, if there is a problem, then you need to give feedback also. So I think it's just like to make everybody's life easier and make your life easier. I think that will be something.
Coach Mo, the analogy that I always give to my son is that FinalSurge is like a practical notebook that we used to have in our engineering colleges and our colleges or schools or whatever, right?
Mhm.
If you do the practical and do not show it rightly to your teacher, they're not gonna give you the right
Exactly.
scores. So it is your job to keep your notebook clean, tidy. You have to make sure that all the readings are there. So after the run, make a habit that you go make sure that there is activity mapped to the task assigned. If that mapping is not there, go figure out why it is not there.
Exactly.
So maybe you have multiple entries. So go do the cleanup from time to time.
Mhm.
Okay, and that is a most critical piece, because otherwise you will not get any coaching from your coach at all if they are not able to see your run.
Thank you. And the other thing is, the most important thing is the splits. I think that's whether it's Apple Watch or Garmin Watch. Garmin by default do the split. So Samsung, I think we are not entertaining this season onwards. So I think it is just either Garmin or Apple. So make sure your all the runs are having splits. And I think another thing which couple of my team members are mixing up it. So if you get instructions like a conversational pace, for the beginners, I think we say that, okay, go for a 1 minute run, 1 minute walk. People start putting the what is that button? That lap button there, and it messes up. So if the lap button or the strides or or splits are only required, manual splits are only required if you are asked to do some kind of a workout. It's primarily I think relevant for the half marathoners and above, because there will be some strides run, fartlek, where you have to like change the default size of your split of your lap. So I think, so please don't confuse if you get an instruction, conversational pace or the base pace run, and coach, the instruction says that, okay, you walk 1 mile or walk 1 minute, walk for run for 1 minute, and then or the vice versa, 0.1 mile walk and run. So I think that's just to get you used to running. So once your cardiovascular system is strong enough, then you will start running without stopping. So I think that's just for the beginners. So let's not mix up with that. So the splits are only needed for shorter splits, or are needed for the runs which are dedicated to that, where either it's a stride run, fartlek run, or some kind of other timed running. Okay. So I think that is another thing. I think there are still some issues which we are trying to sort out with some, I think, invites and all. But other than that, any other questions from anybody? I think we are almost like 40 minutes into the call, so I would give you some time back, because I know it's late for East Coast.
One quick comment, Mo. This is Shilpa.
Hi,
So, is there any issue with having low power mode on in the watch? Isn't there like some syncing issue if the phone is running low on charge? And
You're talking about phone or the watch? Are you
no,
talking
the
about
phone.
phone?
Sorry, phone.
Could be because in the low power mode, what it does is it just tries to do the
Stops some of the
tops.
activities.
Yeah, that's right. So I think I can check. I haven't. This is a good question, because the point of low power mode is just to keep the it stops the automatic syncs also until you get it fully charged, and I think it preserves the battery so that you are not left alone somewhere. So I think that's the whole point. Yeah. So I think yes, but I can double check, or if somebody knows that, answer that.
Okay.
So I think the last thing, Gagan, last season, I think like Suren gave us that how to automate the running in the Garmin. So you were trying some third-party app in Apple. So did that
Yes.
ever work?
Yeah, so that worked. I use an app called Interval Pro.
Okay.
That works, but I have not integrated Interval Pro as in like so there are two modes that Interval Pro can work. One is that you record the activity through Interval Pro itself, right?
Okay.
That you record the activity through Interval Pro, then I have to figure out whether that activity will go to FinalSurge or not. So I've not taken that chance.
Okay.
So what I do is that I run Interval Pro on my phone, and then in Interval Pro you can create as many combinations like 1 minute run, 1 minute walk, 0.1 run, 1 minute walk, right? It can let you have the combination of time and distance both, right? It's a free app. It allows you to create, I think, 2 or 3 free timers. Okay, and beyond that, they start charging. But I think most of us only need maybe one kind of a timer or two kinds of timers only. Okay, so I run that app separately on the phone, and that kind of tells me that you have done 0.25 miles and now there's a 1 minute walk. Now you again do 0.25, then you again do 1 minute walk. So I use the audio notifications that come from the phone, and
but there is no integration between.
I've not tried that, coach, but I can. Yeah, I told last season. Basically, I have to go out on a run and make sure that it goes to FinalSurge. So I will try it on a non-running day, so that my actual run does not get messed up.
I think what you should look for is like Interval Pro integration with what is it, Health Fit. I think
yes, exactly. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. That through Interval Pro, it goes into iPhone's activity. From iPhone, if once it gets registered into the fitness app on the phone, then it will automatically go to HealthFit. Then from HealthFit, it will go to FinalSurge, right? So
there might be something like in HealthFit. If you go, there is an option to sync it with FinalSurge. I think there could be something with this Interval Pro also. I can check.
I think theoretically it should work because Interval Pro asks me for the permission to write on the fitness app itself. So if it is asking me for the permission to write on the fitness app, then it should work ideally, but I will try and I will let you know. I know that was the answer I wanted to give in the last season itself. I could not, but I will try this now.
Trust me, everybody is like, I'm still writing a HR heart rate control document. It's been 3 seasons. It's still not complete. So how to control the heart rate. So that's long overdue. I'm working with Dr. David Manova, who is a cardiologist in my cohort.
I think that's a very, very complex and a very interesting subject. We all would like to. We all would love to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I think we look forward to that Interval Pro, Gagan, and I think that should be it. So I think thank you very much. Anything any last minute anybody wants to add or ask something? Otherwise, we can just call it a night.
No, I think, thanks Mo for having, right? And as you said, right, like I think Gagan also saying, we use so many apps on the phone. FinalSurge is one other app that one can get used to. It goes a long way.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So thank you all. Thanks everybody for joining. Shankar, thanks you also joining without saying anything. I think texted a lot of good information. And Gagan, Indu is gone, Suren, Nilu, and Dinesh. Thank you for staying on, and I'll post the recording also onto our Runners High group, and then I think then we'll take it from there. Looking forward to the inputs from all of them. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.